Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking to you about how you can reduce your squalor in Rome Total War. Now once you've got a game going in like me here, you've got a couple of settlements, the empire's growing, your cities are growing, your population will be increasing across your empire. So you can see here, for example, that Eritreum, forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, currently has 5,766 out of 6,000. So as soon as it gets to 6,000, the city is going to upgrade. And as the population grows, the squalor levels will increase. In order to see squalor, for example, you just come down here to settlement details. That'll bring up the settlement details tab. And we can see here under disorder that squalor is currently minus 25%. And as far as population growth per turn is concerned, squalor is currently having a minus 2.5% impact, which is impacting our growth. But it's also important to mention that as the settlement grows, the squalor will get worse and worse. There are certain things that we can do to effectively mitigate this for the time being. So, certain buildings, for example, that increase happiness, which you can see in the build order, are certainly good to get. So for example, we can build public baths, for example, to increase happiness. Certain temples give a bonus to happiness, and that will increase our happiness across the settlement for the short term. However, squalor will continue to go higher and higher and higher the bigger the city gets. For example, if I come over to Carthage here and view the settlement details, you can currently see that disorder right now, squalor is currently minus 50%. And that is having a minus 5% to our squalor. Now, how do we actually go about mitigating this? Because obviously once a settlement becomes too unhappy, they will eventually riot and cause problems. Well, interestingly enough, there's no direct way to limit squalor, but there are two main methods of working around it. One is by reducing our population. The easiest way to do this is to effectively spam recruit peasants, which are the largest infantry units in the game. So we can go ahead here and recruit peasants, which as you can see on the left there is 120 units at a time. If I stack these up, you can see that the population is currently dropping, the happiness is going up, and that is going to allow us to effectively mitigate this for the time being. However, the problem with this is that it is still not enough long term to keep the population suppressed. It will allow us to move people around as well, though. However, I can send these peasants, for example, to smaller cities on the outskirts of my empire, disband them there, and effectively artificially pump up the population here. For example, if I don't have any buildings that I can currently queue, if I want to get this to 2,000 quickly so I can get to the next governor palace, I can just drop those peasants off here and disband them. But eventually this is still going to riot. When that does and becomes a rebel settlement, you need to retake the city. Once you retake the city, it is important that you exterminate or enslave the population in order to dramatically reduce the population. I would also say as a bonus tip here that you might not want to upgrade your farms really sort of past the communal farming area, only because this will continue to grow the population quicker and quicker and quicker. And if you don't want to have cities rioting, you shouldn't really grow these too quickly. Obviously, getting to the Marian reforms is important, but you only really actually need one city to do that. And Patavium or Carthage is a great one to do because obviously they have really good growth bonuses. But past that point, the rest of the cities, really, you don't want to actually have them growing past the necessary sort of buildings to actually just get them upgraded in the first place. So I keep taxes very high, which is obviously really good for income as well. But the reality is, ultimately, you want to avoid getting too much growth in your settlements. So that just about sums it up, guys, on how you can mitigate squalor in Rome Total War. I hope this tutorial has helped, and I'll see you in the next one.